series of video breakdowns from some content that people have sent me, but I want you to think of this one as sort of like the fight companion. All of this is martial arts stuff, so if you're into that, let's go. If not, come back later. I don't know. Let's go. All right, this is probably really, really overdone thing that I get sent these a lot from people, and I have these conversations in the gym all the time. But it's this whole, this fight sport versus this fight sport. But let's just listen to this one because someone sent this one to me.
I don't know about anybody else, but me personally, I'm not losing to a guy that does jiu-jitsu. Yes, if you manage to grab me during a fight, you may win, but I'm going to make that really hard for you. A lot of people like to go with this notion that grapplers are superior to strikers. Oh, if I grab you, the fight is over. That may be true, but who says that you have the ability to evade punches or kicks like the way you say you do? Let alone be able to endure this type of punishment so that you can grab me. A lot of guys that just do jujitsu don't know what it's like to be punched in the face, especially by a boxer. And no, boxers aren't going to sit there and let you grab them. We learn footwork for a reason. And yes, most boxers know how to maintain distance so that we can keep you away from us. And if you try to lay on the ground, I'm going to walk away from you. I was taught that if my opponent is laying on the floor, that means I win. Listen, I don't know about anybody.
Talking about butt scooting. You won't lose, you would get molested. Famous last words, the competition purple belt can beat most all pro boxers. No. Oh man. So I mean, look, this is my podcast. I can talk about whatever I want. And the thing is, it just comes down to the person. I've had people who have fought for 20 years or whatever, but they're out of shape and they can't do anything. You got you got strikers that hit really friggin' hard, and they will just destroy you with like one punch. There's a guy in the gym that he's given me a concussion before. I'm pretty sure I have had 2 concussions from this guy. And he's the nicest dude, and it's just an accident. He wasn't even hitting hard. There's no way I could survive an actual, like, legitimate punch from that person if he landed it. And that's what they want to talk about, the if. And there's so many on either side, jiu-jitsu people, strikers, boxers, Muay Thai, MMA is it's the way to go. You got to mix it all together. It all needs to be mixed. You can't just be one dimensional. And also, we can't compare jiu-jitsu in a vacuum to a legitimate fight. We can't put boxing by itself in a vacuum in a legitimate fight. It's not how it is. Fights are fights. These are sports. Jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai. Muay Thai is pretty violent. Karate, judo, wrestling, whatever. You just put it all. They're all sports. One-dimensional sport. It's a sport. It can be rough. At the end of the day, it's still a sport. And there is a rule set, and there's an agreement. And you step in there and you're agreed. He's not talking about that. He's talking about using one of them to defeat the other. It's like Conor McGregor says. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. Everything works. There's a time and a place for everything. It doesn't mean it always will work in every scenario, but sure. If you're a boxer and you're getting in a fight with a jiu-jitsu guy, if the jiu-jitsu guy gets his hands on you, he's taking you out. He's going to choke you out. Sure. If the boxer connects, you're going to sleep. I mean, whatever. It's like a what if domino thing. But don't give the guy hate. It's sort of like one of the first realms we come into, in my opinion, in the maturation process of a martial artist. As they kind of go through this thought process, and this is one of the conversations you have with yourself, whatever. It's definitely definitely worthy of working through, so there you go. Picking on the jiu-jitsu people, I've got some more coming later, but because you guys are just such an easy target. Okay, I love it. I do myself. I've done it for years, but you guys are it's just funny. Check this one out. I dislike local tournaments. There's no conversation there. Let me just boom. I want experience. Paying IBJJF prices for a local competition and it being a 2-man bracket is criminal. He's basically shitting on all the different tournaments and how there's no good fighters in them, and he just wins them without really even trying, and he's all huffing out because he's awesome. And the first comment, Icy Mike. I just noticed that was Icy Mike. I fucking love that guy. Well, the good news is that you did not make your opponent look bad with this post. Boom. The second one, local comps are beneath me. Yeah, then quit going. It's just in the, it's just in that line with the thing we were looking at before. If you read the comments through that, my jiu-jitsu beat everybody. It's like, well, just shut the hell up. I don't know what else to say. Not very deep, but fun. Let's take a look at this one. Jocko. Love Jocko. I haven't really looked at anything Jocko in a while. I need to listen to his podcast. It's been quite a while, but I forget what podcast this was on. It's like the CEO project, or I forget, but it's a pretty decent podcast. But this account, God Mode Unleashed, it's kind of funny, but this is how you win a fight without fighting.
You could recognize when someone knew how to fight. You could look at them. And now that I've been training jiu-jitsu and fought a ton, when I look at someone, you can see like, oh, this person knows how to fight. When someone looks at me, they're not thinking, hey, I'm going to take advantage of this. It's not even just like, hey, this guy's big, but they can tell, hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at Jocko and think, hey, I should mess with this guy.
I'll fight. I don't really want to because I'm busy. But if you want to push me,
I don't really want to fight with you because I'm busy.
We're going to have a problem, and it's going to get solved my way. So having that is important. And I can tell you right now, the amount of fights I've got in since before I knew jiu-jitsu, since after, is like it directly correlated to the more you know, the less you fight. You could.
That's a Navy SEAL, jiu-jitsu black belt, Jocko Willnick. He's right. He's also talking about what we started with, which is why I end with this. He's also talking about what we started with, which was trusting your gut, reading the room, reading your opponent, paying attention to the vibe. Don't know if you guys watch Street Beefs. I like to joke with from friends of mine and stuff about Street Beefs. It's weird, but it's also entertaining. And some of the, I guess, A-tier Street Beefers, this guy named Death Sentence. There's a video out. It's a really great video produced by Demetrius Johnson's company, or whatever production. Mighty Mouse from UFC. Honestly, pound for pound, the greatest fighter of all time in the UFC, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Definitely on the I see the Mount Rushmore posts of UFC. Who would you put on there? For the record, GSP, Demetrius Johnson, John Jones, and the fourth, I don't know, whatever. Ronda Rousey maybe. Anywho, he let me play this so that it gets there so we can see it. He was, I don't know, helping these guys. Is one dude named Death Sentence or whatever. This is Death Sentence's buddy. And by the way, we're talking about disrespectful things in martial arts. And so you can see this guy. He's first off, Demetrius Johnson is trying to help them. He's like sparring with them, trying to teach them. He's been working with them for days, coaching them or whatever. And this guy is just being an idiot.
Hiya, hiya, hiya. That's the clip chat.
You can see it's just being obnoxious.
Let's.
There you go. Didn't like that one. Demetrius Johnson is not going to knock him out, right?
Ultimate punch. Just kidding.
And he's just mocking him, being stupid.
Come on, there we go, Bill. Wait, please.
Look how easy that was. Do not put your glove in the guy's face like that. That was just stupid. In the main, I just found the Instagram clip to look at, but in the main video that Demetrius Johnson did, he was saying like he's not about that anymore. He's not about just getting in the ring and beating the guy up.
Oh, cool. Thank you, buddy.
He's not about just making someone pay. And I think this guy, Wing C, whatever the hell his stupid name is, I think he wanted Demetrius Johnson to just hit him, right? Was to just like, I don't really know what he was doing, but you're in this scenario and you get this you can practice with the greatest of all time, and then this is how you're going to act. It's just stupid. And then to put your glove like that and press it into the guy's face, you see how easy it is. There are definitely levels to these sports, and Demetrius Johnson is on the top of it, and he just dropped him with the one easy little kick. Dropped his hand, boom, he's out. He could have done that whenever he wanted to, and just have some damn respect. This is Craig Jones. I think he was in Russia or Ukraine. I forget where which one this is. Maybe they'll say it or whatever. But so you got Craig Jones, who's one of the best jiu-jitsu sportsman players, whatever. I refuse to call them fighters. I refuse to call kickboxers fighters too. But you got him there, and then this is kind of, I guess, how it played out. They do not want they want to roll.
Okay. Go. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm gonna let the audio play out because this is actually kind of sickening to hear. And if you don't know much about jiu-jitsu, this guy is kind of pressing him. And he's like going for it. He's gonna rough with the guy. Here we go. You hear that? Snapped his knee. I mean, just dismantled it. So you bring the guy in, from the top in the world, for a seminar. And then, from what I understand from the story, they try to Shark Tank him. So what a Shark Tank is they'll like 12 guys back to back on him and make him they try to beat him. I've heard a lot of stuff about these Russian, Ukrainian type of jiu-jitsu guys as being meatheads or whatever. And in their defense, Craig Jones is kind of a meathead too, but it's very dangerous, for the person in there. They're trying to get the guy, and he's not going to have it, and he just shows this guy. Let's listen to it one more time. See if you can hear it. Oh, I hate that sound. That's just terrible. Guy handles it pretty well. But yeah, not cool. Not cool to do that to the person. His knee didn't want to roll though. Let's go. It's just bullshit. They want to be disrespectful to a guest coach, no problem. Snap their legs. Wow. Yeah, I think it's unanimously thought of as being a disrespectful situation. I can't disagree. I've seen some of that happen firsthand at seminars where, we'll go to a seminar and we're working with a pro fighter or whatever, and they'll do a couple of rounds of sparring, and then there's always some dipshit that wants to try and like go hard and beat the guy or something. It's kind of silly. So in other news, this silly guy, Marcus Borger, the development of my cauliflower ear. So it's sort of a thing in the jiu-jitsu world, wrestling world, or whatever, where the cauliflower ear is like a thing of pride and people show it off. I guess it proves that they're tough. I mean, and honestly, if you have cauliflower ear, you have put in a lot of time rolling or fighting or whatever with people to get that. But this guy, not so much. So he's trying to develop, this is from McDojo Life, trying to develop his cauliflower ear by doing all this dumb shit. Like, what are you doing, dude? Just put in the work. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it is a joke. I don't understand like what the deal is. Anything to avoid doing the actual thing. This is the most holy shit. Why would he post that? Yeah, I don't understand either. This is up there with the dudes who claim they've got their black belt in like 3 years or whatever in jiu-jitsu. It's just silly. I don't get it. Just train, get it the right way. I mean, some people develop it, some people don't. You don't want to destroy your body parts for a sport unless you're mental. That's my take on it. So yeah. Okay, and then I found this guy. This is maybe a martial arts only episode of debrief. I'm not sure I'm learning anything from these posts other than just getting angry, but we can learn how not to be. We can learn how not to be a internet douchebag. And in a world where clicks and exposure are currency, maybe there's value here, but I don't know.
Yo, this is weird, right? It's giving Kevin Spacey teaches Kung Fu. What is that shirt? Someone get a background check on this man immediately. What's going on?
So I'm reacting to a reaction, which is, I just realized, probably more stupid than this guy. But hey, man, look, I made a comment here. Mocking other people doing martial arts things. Maybe let me guess before I look. You do BJJ. This is the one that I found this guy on, and yeah, it turns out he does. Let's take a look.
3 things that you do in jiu-jitsu class that are a total waste of time.
Totally.
Number 1 is break falling. Break falling is fake. It's not real. It's an invention to make it hurt a little less, to no resistance drill throws, so that when you're sitting there just tossing each other for an hour in a takedown or a judo practice, it hurts less.
One of this guy's academy owners. You obviously don't know what you're talking about. Talking about break falling. I mean, I'm one of the only qualified people who could actually coach, in your humble opinion. It's kind of funny. Break falling. We'll come back to that.
People talk about learning the right way to fall. The right way to fall is to not fall from as far. And you do that by just having good defense and good base. And that's really, when we're break falling, we're lowering ourselves to our butt.
Yeah, it's
the hand slapping the mat nonsense.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything.
No.
Number 2.
Nothing. Notice he does have cauliflower ear, so he's definitely a meathead. So break falling has value. Sure, if you are a younger person, you can fall and probably not get hurt. If you are an athletic person, naturally, you can fall and probably not get hurt. If you kind of can know how to fall and not get hurt, that's great. But the thing is, you have to teach people. They have to start from somewhere. I mean, if someone comes into your school and they have zero knowledge, what are you going to start with? You can start with teaching them omoplata. Is that your first move? We're gonna immediately start mauling the new white belt as soon as they come in. I mean, I would hate to go to this guy's school. So yeah, there's a time and a place for it. You know, you need to practice it. Hell, I need to practice it. I neglect all of that stuff. And I shouldn't be, but I do. And I normally pay the price for it.
Who is shrimping like up and down the mats? The shrimping without someone on top of you is so far removed from actually like using frames to escape.
Well,
Stop
yeah.
doing that. Number 3.
That's kind of the point, bro. Again, you got to start from somewhere. If you don't have the physical, athletic, or body movement capacity to hip escape, to make frames and get out, you got to start somewhere. And that shrimping movement is the start of it. It's also just a friggin' warm up to get your body ready. Okay?
3 is forward and backward rolls. Like, it honestly might be a good, like, just physical fitness thing to do. But as far as actually translating to jiu-jitsu, fucking just do some positional rounds. These are 3 things.
Yay! The first thing you learn in judo classes is the break fall. It's called ukemi, which is help and protect any judokas from snapping arms, shoulders, or neck. I saw a lot of injuries in jiu-jitsu occurred by wrong or incorrect takedown moves. I think breaking fall is one of the most important things BJJ community should teach. I bet he responded, he did. That's an old ass opinion. Wrestlers don't break fall. They get injured whatever. Then I guess more than jiu-jitsu guys who do practice it. Also, judo guys are always injured. I don't see break falls happening at high level grappling or even intermediate level grappling during takedowns. Okay. I don't know. I think he's trolling, honestly. I think he's trolling for followers, and I think that was the whole point, is that, you know, he thinks any traffic is good traffic and any conversation is good conversation. And I will say he has a shit pot of comments on there. And I will tell you that I disagree. I think you probably realize that I disagree. But again, these things, you all got to start somewhere. I mean, he claims he's a high level grappler. I don't know who this guy is. Let's see. Over 10,000 followers. I don't know. We'll look him up in a little bit. But break falls, forward rolls, backward rolls, shrimping. It's the start of the process. It's the start of becoming fit enough in the jiu-jitsu way to do that stuff. And to say that like advanced or intermediate people don't need to do it, probably don't, because you've learned how to do it. I've seen people when we're in, like literally in class teaching, and they will fall and they will try to put their arm out to catch themselves. And yeah, it's the concept of just getting yourself lower to the ground so that you don't fall as far and hurt yourself is pretty simple. But bro, it's really difficult for a lot of people. Give me a break. Give me a break. Here's another one.
Number 1
Shirtless, of
dumbest
course.
jiu-jitsu tradition. And it's less of a tradition and it's more of just like a cultural taboo in jiu-jitsu, and that's to ask about when you're going to get your next belt. If you don't think that's dumb, let me put it like this way. It's a taboo and it's against the rules to ask about what you need to do to progress.
Right. Did you hear that?
That second one sounds ridiculous, right? Same thing. And I used to do this. I used to say, you ask about your belt, you get another. Don't even think about it for another 6 months then. And it was me just like blindly following the traditions. Now I encourage people to ask about it because it gives me this amazing coaching opportunity to say, hey, man, you know, you're basically a black belt with your guard, but your takedowns are white belt, dude. And I can't give you I can't give you a purple belt with white belt takedowns. You got to get that up to purple belt level. And they go, okay, yeah, you're right. I do need to work on my takedowns, and that makes a lot of sense. I'll work on it, coach. And then they go and they work on it because they want their belt. Most jiu-jitsu traditions are so anti-learning, it's crazy that anyone's gotten good ever.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I thought I commented on that. It is not about asking, what do I need to do to improve? What do I need to level up my game? What do I need to do to learn more matches? What do I need to do to be better at this martial art? That's not the same thing when someone asks when they're getting their next belt. They're two different things, okay? Two completely different things. If you're walking up to your sensei, your coach, hey, when am I getting my next belt? You don't deserve to get that next belt. This is where we completely disagree. And then you flipped it. You flipped it. You said, asking about when do I get my next belt is a stupid taboo because you just want to know how to get better. They're not the same question. One is fine in any martial art, no matter how traditional. If you ask your teacher, what are some things I can do to improve? They're a bad teacher if they don't tell you those things. But if you ask your sensei or your coach, when do I get my next belt? If you can't see that those are different things, you should probably quit martial arts. I had a guy. I like the guy. So in my gym, we have a kickboxing curriculum. Well, we have a kickboxing program and we have a karate program, traditional karate. The guy was doing both. And I think he liked it. I think he enjoyed it. And he did karate with me for like a year. Tested through to his yellow belt. It's all good. Working on his orange belt. Had all of his requirements. He's an orange belt. I could have just given him the orange belt. And this is where I think probably some jiu-jitsu stuff, we're going to differ on some jiu-jitsu conversation too. I believe in testing. I believe in some level of testing. I think that you shouldn't be just handed your next rank. And that's what happened to me in jiu-jitsu. Which one day the guy was like, "Here you go, you're a blue belt now." I was like, "What? I don't understand, why or how this happened." I'm getting off track. This guy, I had set a date for everyone to test. There was like 6 people, and I emailed them out, "Hey, this is the next test date. I know you want your orange belt. Come on." And he replied, "Well, that date doesn't work for me. I'm going out with some friends to the beach or whatever." And I was like, "Cool. All right, no problem. You just wait around to the next one." Like, it was like 2 or 3 months later, I had another date, put another date out there, and sent it out the same way. And the guy said, "Oh, that date doesn't work for me. I've got, I'm going on this trip." Okay, cool. You can, sure, we'll just do the next one. And so I knew this guy had season tickets to the college football team. And so I picked an off weekend. I thought about him and I picked a weekend that I knew there was no home football game because we normally do them on Saturday. I sent the email out and I said, "Hey man, I sent one specifically to him too." And I said, "Hey, I picked this weekend because there's no home football game. Figured it'd be a good one for you. I know you've been trying to get the orange belt. You missed 2 for other reasons. Here's one." And his response was, "Oh yeah, I know it's a I know there's no game, but I make plans too when there's no game. Like, what? Cool. Well, then don't worry about it. And I was, not upset, but I was like, hey man, cool. Well, just wait till the next one. So this is like 3 that he had better things to do. And then about 2 or 3 weeks after that test happened, he came up to me and he said, hey, when can I test for my orange belt? And I said, hey, well, we've had 3 that you've missed, and that's quite a lot. That's almost 9 months of testing windows that you've missed. I was like, I don't at this point, it's close to Christmas. I don't know when I'll do the next one, probably the first of the year. Another couple of weeks went by and he was like, hey, when do I get that orange belt? And and that's what I'm talking about. That has nothing to do with learning. That has nothing to do with enjoying the martial art. That has nothing to do with getting better, being a better martial artist. All the stuff that this dipshit is talking about, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with wanting to go have a match or go to a tournament or just learn some new material or whatever. It has nothing to do with that stuff. The guy just wanted the belt so that he could wear the new color and get the new rank above the other lower people. That's what he wants. And he couldn't make the time. So that sort of thing is what really informs my view on some of this stuff. So yeah, asking when you're going to test, it's up to that coach. It's up to that teacher. That's their prerogative. One of the tests I have in my gym is I get a lot of people, and if you are a fighter or you work in a gym or you own a gym or you train or whatever, you'll see this. I have a lot of people that will come through the kickboxing program and they'll want to fight, right? They'll say, hey, I want to fight. Help me, coach me, get me to a fight. Let's say, cool. Before we start training, what I need you to do is I need you to come to every single kickboxing class that there is. And I don't have a ton of them. Like you could easily come to. I need you to come to all the classes that you're scheduled to come to and get that work. And the number one question I have is, how long do I need to do that? And my answer is until I think you're ready to start training for a fight. And I will tell you 9 times out of 10, that person will not last a week. They will come to 1 or 2 classes out of like 4, and they'll peter out real fast. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. They're not asking, hey, how do I get better at this thing? They're asking for the reward before the work is done. That's why it's stupid. And that's why there still needs to be some tradition, in my opinion. I think jiu-jitsu is one of the biggest offenders of this, and it's that no-gi jiu-jitsu sport culture. I think is just permeating some stuff in martial arts where we're losing a lot of the traditional approach, and those traditions are there for a reason. And I'm talking about a good gym, a good dojo, not just a McDojo fly-by-night place of just trying to get money. Those things. We can have those conversations. But if you go to a gym or a dojo and they want you to wear the school gi, they want you to wear the school rash guard, they want you to bow before you walk on the mats, they have a picture of their lineage, their teacher up on the wall. They don't want you to ask when your next rank is going to happen. Those aren't culty or stupid traditions. Those traditions are there for a reason. If you can't see that, you need to just put your head down and keep training longer. they're not out to get you, man. They're not out to get you. And I can't find it. I tried to find it. I did make a comment on one of his things, and I asked him, I said something like, I can't tell if this is like real or if it's just like rage baiting jujitsu posts. And he said, the guy responded, Sam Gayer responded. He said, well, it's both. It is rage bait, but also, what do you say? Like, it also enrages old heads in jujitsu at the same time. And I'm trying to change the culture. That may be, I don't think this is the right way to do it. And I'm not just, I mean, I'm picking on this guy because someone sent me like one of the things and they were asking me a question about his question, the breakfall thing in particular. And I don't know. I just disagree with everything. And, you know, he looks like a pro fighter or whatever. But you know, it just doesn't matter. You know, you can't, just don't try to make content by shitting on everybody. It's not cool. Cool. Let's look at a few things that people have sent me. Here's this one.
Whatever you're going through right now,
Chad Wright.
it's happening on purpose in order to forge you into the person that you were created to be ultimately. All right? But if you quit, you will never get to be the person that you were created to be. Whatever.
Kind of a sidebar there. I love Chad Wright. It's some stuff he says sometimes. I'm just like, man, I don't know if I can dig on you that much, but for the most part, I love Chad Wright, and that is so right. And I want to talk about some coaching things. We started off crapping on some jiu-jitsu people, and I stand by everything I said, but thinking about coaching and stuff, and he'd make a damn good coach. And just talking about not quitting, it's part of what I try to do with my martial arts program, is that to show people that becoming what you set your goals out to means you have to work through all the things that try to keep you from becoming that. That's actually how you get there. And I know that's real tropey, and this is a little impressive Instagram reel here and stuff, but it's worth listening to. This one, man, this one gives me chill bumps. So the post on the thing here: do you want a coach who holds you to the highest standard, or one who lets you off the hook? It's talking about Bob Hurley, famous coach here. He didn't just win; he built men. 26 state titles, 1,100 wins at St. Anthony's. You know anything about basketball, you know this guy. Every practice, every drill, every decision, it was either up to his standard or it wasn't good enough. He didn't lower the bar. And it's an ad for this elite performance and stuff. But honestly, listen to this.
What time are you guys supposed to be in here? 5? Okay. We'll see you later, guys.
When you knock on my door.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go home. Go home. You stay. I want you to hear this stuff. We don't need the board. Get out of here.
Wow.
In your careers of having won no championships, tomorrow is the biggest game of your life. And what do we have? We got bull. We got excuses. We got faces. Okay? Well, I'm telling you something right now. If you lose tomorrow, you'll be the laughing stock of high school basketball. Do yourselves a favor. When you're going home now, and we're done, right? And you know we're not done. You're going home, and I hope you're ready. And anybody mumbles now, I'll knock somebody the out.
That guy. That guy's moved. The thing is, as I read some of the comments, and it's just like, how did he pick who stays? It's just this like, Yeah, this one. These type of coaches are becoming non-existent. Society and parents can't handle it anymore. For sure. Bad coaching. He left those boys with doubt, fear, anxiety. It's hard to be a good coach when you're personal. The thing is, we're seeing one moment in time. I demand perfection. Anything less than that will not be tolerated. Can't handle it. There's always room beneath first place. I think that's where we are with a lot of things in our world. I was lucky in that my sensei in the martial art that I practice had high standards, and he let us know that. And he was still nice. You can't say this guy isn't nice. He's just talking to these young men about a state championship, the highest level of game in that area for the thing that they're doing. Talked about this on a podcast a while back about the Mr. Beast show, and I can't stand Mr. Beast, but his business one of his business documents was leaked, and it was like a manifesto on what it takes to work at Mr. Beast Productions. And overwhelmingly, the internet was like, this was a toxic workplace and stuff. And that may well be, but you got to remember his production company is the best in the world. It's the biggest in the world. They have the biggest audience in the world of like all things on the internet that you can look at. And to treat it like anything other than that is an insult to the thing that you've built. I put out a post one time that said, your lack of motivation or accountability or whatever is the biggest insult to your coach that you could have. And I made that post and I caught a lot of flack for it. There was several, I mean, I took it down because I got like 20 or so people that were just like, what is this? You know, why are you making me feel guilty? It's guilt. It's coaching my guilt and stuff. And there's one of the comments here. I think that some of us don't understand what it takes to win at a high level. They don't understand what it takes and the sacrifices these people are making to do these things. This comment, all these people saying he wouldn't say that to my son. You're correct, because your son wouldn't be able to play at this place under this coach. He would have sent you home. So this is a practice before their state championship, if I'm not mistaken. And there are people showing up late. I once had a student show up late for their rank test. And it's like, what are we supposed to do here? The standards are getting lowered in terms of our expectations of people. And if you want to, if you genuinely want to win on this level, you have to accept this, Your coach. So here's one that plays on what I was just talking about, and I have real opinions on this one.
If your coach has more energy than you do, you already lost. If your coach is doing more than you are, you already lost. If your coach is showing up with more enthusiasm, more encouragement than you are, you already lost. Coach is actually giving you the bare minimum to do. If you are not running, stretching, working on self on the weekends, after practice, before practice, then this isn't your real sport.
Damn. I couldn't find it. I wanted to find it really bad, but there was one where the coach was talking about, if the coach gives you criticism and your response is, why'd you say that? If your coach gives you criticism and your response is, huh? You already lost, man. You're losing this. You're off the script. He is so right. If you're showing up for the thing that you claim you want and you're not prepared to at least spend the next, I mean, we're talking about like whatever they're doing, training for a couple hours. If you're not prepared to show up, what the hell are you doing? You're wasting time. You're wasting everyone's time. That you know, it's personal when you're working with someone. And I work with people, and to work with them for months and months and months and multiple years towards this thing that they say they want, and then they just disappear. They just quit. And you haven't quit. You've shown up. It's heartbreaking. If your coach is doing more than you are, you're already lost. He's so right.
People live day to day where the events of yesterday have no bearing on the events of today, and the events of today have no bearing on the events of tomorrow. And this means your life will simply run in a flat line until the day you die. But if we make a concerted effort to build one day upon another, even if it's just a very small thing, and in most cases it will be a small thing.
So here's a thought from John Danaher on approaching your training.
Live day to day where the events of yesterday have no bearing on the events of today, and the events of today have no bearing on the events of tomorrow. And this means your life will simply run in a flat line until the day you die. But if we make a concerted effort to build one day upon another, even if it's just a very small thing, and in most cases it will be a small thing. It's rare that we have a day where something monumental happens. Most days are not monumental, they're mundane. So on every one of these mundane days, we have to take one small little gem that happened. It may not be very big, something small, and add that to your performance tomorrow. And if we can do this over 10 years, something truly remarkable can happen. It's so easy just to let a day go and they say, I'll try again tomorrow. Most people live day to day where the events of yesterday have no bearing on the events of today. And
I couldn't agree more. It's kind of sad to see a lot of the comments are just making fun of him, but he's talking about building your ability to perform on a high level. I mean, when you get to a certain point, when you first start on particularly a new martial art or whatever, but when you first start, you learn a lot of shit really fast, right? Like every class for like the first 6 months is like big, bold things that you learn or whatever. But as you go later on, even at black belt level and beyond, the things you learn are small details. Practicing that simple thing one more time, it just builds, and that's what he's talking about there.
Ignore and outperform them. You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win.
Yikes. Why did I even bring that one up, man? That'll light a fire in your ass. But I bring that up because I've had some conversations with folks where they're asking me questions about someone who has progressed pretty well, and they perform really well. And they, flat out ask me if that person is ahead of them. And I said, yeah, they are. They're kicking ass right now. Like they're really kicking ass right now. They said, wow, well, how? I said, well, that person is in every class. They come to every opportunity to train. They are in there. And when they're in there, that person is giving it as much effort as they can. And I said, honestly, if I'm being critical, when I see you in class, I see you having conversations with other people. Class is only an hour long, and you're spending time talking. You're spending time trying to coach other people, and you're spending time recording bullshit. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but like that other person who you're concerned with for some reason being ahead of you is not doing that. They're sweating, working. They are putting it all out there. And I think that's what Jocko's getting at. That person's going to progress faster than you. But the good news is you can be that person. You can do the same stuff. You can work hard as well. You can put your head down and stop yapping and get to working. It's not that difficult when you think about it, but it does require a mindset shift, and it requires you to really dial it in and really get it done. All right, so there you have it. There's some things, pretty much all martial arts or coaching related. I hope you got something out of that. I always do when I get to look at some things that I found, or some things that people sent me, and I get to like solidify some of my thoughts on stuff. So I appreciate your time listening to this. Really do hope you got something out of it. And until next time, get after it.